everybody to this special diamond transmission, this particular gathering. And I've just really named these two sort of, we're working in June at the moment as we're building up to the solstice window, seeds and sacred sites, because it really is about the energies at the moment, sowing the seeds or expanding our vision, expanding the potentiality of those seeds that we have sown to manifest and to blossom through the solstice gateway, and rededicating our own inner space and personal space to the sacred site that it actually is. So it's not necessarily about the external sacred sites, but there's a real focus on the honoring of sacred sites around the world and our own personal sacred sites through the solstice window. And that was the connection that I had made with Arval Looking Horse, one of the Native American elders. So, in a physical sense, many of those sacred sites are being decimated. And then, at another level, in another way, our physical bodies are being impacted by the environments. And I've got some different information that I actually want to share with you today, in respect of the yin yang balancing, which is necessary to harmonize our inner space in order to maximize and optimize that potentiality for those seeds to blossom and flourish. So yeah, it'll be interesting when we get to that slide. So, seeds and sacred sites. The seed theme really starts off with the Tzolk'in Day, because here we are today in the yellow resonant seed energy, which is a mystic core column day. So here I've put the full module in for you again so that you can see. In May, we went through this really intense series of 10 gap days. We then had a 5-day break, and this is where we are at the moment in what is known as the mystic core column. It is the backbone, the very center, the very core, the harmonized energy of the entire Tolkien module. So again, this theme of harmonization is very strong at the moment, harmonization and integration. And this day particularly, which is an 11:11 gateway, is a seed day. And interestingly, that also speaks the number 6 within the 11:11 gateway, because it's 11:6:11 at the moment, speaks about harmony. So we've got a lot of like validations and confirmations coming in from many different angles at the moment. But here we are. So we're in this core column. We have a sequence of 20 days of progressive energies where we are being gifted with the opportunity to integrate and maintain harmony. So we're in a 20-day period of calibration. And this is part and parcel of why there may be some swinging backwards and forwards between the opposing emotional states, and the celestial influences, the astrological influences are aligned with that particular energetic dynamic at this time as well. So yeah, a huge amount. So 20-day period of integration. We are on day 4 of this column. So we have another 16 days to actually work with. We'll be down here somewhere when we actually go through the solstice. So the yellow resonant seed, may the yellow seed help me to plant what I want to see manifest in my life, for it to blossom from the spirit. And that's not just about our traditional understanding of what we want to see manifest. It is about the manifestation and the blossoming from a place and space of our highest potential, from our higher self, from our spirit. I'm guided by the power of planning. You see this glyph here, by the way. This is the warrior, the magical warrior, and we've worked a bit with the warrior as well over the last 2 months. So the warrior is not just about planning. The warrior is about many things. It's about courage, integrity, so that we can maintain that harmony. Okay, so I used this next image in the previous session that we did, and this is an image called the Hunab Ku, which represents the core of Galactic Center. Galactic Center. It's again a Mayan glyph that represents the seed, the source of all things. And it's almost a bit like a yin yang. You can see the counter rotating spirals of black and white. And the integration column, this mystic core column within the Tolkien module, is a column of alignment with the Hunab, with the center of our galaxy, with the source of all seeds. And you can see down here this tree blossoming from galactic source. It's known colloquially as galactic butterfly, but I just love this particular depiction of it. It is the balancing of all things. Yes, Robin, I know. I saw that. It's also the eye. And if I go back to this picture that I used, this theme of eyes, if you look here, and I only noticed it afterwards, you'll see that this is also the shape of an eye in the middle of this picture. So it's really, really interesting that this theme of vision and eyes and seeing and eyes opening is very significant. Robin and I had some very profound experiences with eyes opening within the earth and in various ways through the ceremonies that we did in South Africa. Some really, really profound experiences there. So it has been quite a consistent theme. So today is known as Kin 124. It is also Lunar Tone 7, which is the mystical seven, the magical seven, the mysteries of the beyond actually brought into being. And again, I could spend hours just sort of highlighting for you guys the way that all of this comes into play, because the number 6 that we focused on today, this 11-6-11 gateway, the 6th that is the month of June in the center, represents the 6 vectors of the diamonds, and the 7th point is the point in the center that actually connects us with the source of all things. So again, we get this connection back to the galactic source, the galactic seed, the galactic center. So this was a description from timewaves.org that really gives us a highlight for the energies of this moment today. Today we climb to focus on the heights of our potential fearlessly. The quest of joining with others to co-create and inspire the greatest awareness possible. So fully focused with not a moment to waste as we bring order to our world so that the highest potential for flowering is assured. Channeling the highest aspirations of our collective intelligence, reflecting the perfect order of all life. Today's support is the blue resonant eagle, to envision all that one can do and inspire by setting to it, accomplishing the vision. So we've got the eye, the vision, the far sight, the far seeingness, by just flowing from step to step, the creative mind in resonance with solutions to every hurdle, with fluid motion, moment by moment, healing of every wound. So if you just read this, because the energies in those words really contain both the yin yang essence and balance as well, in another way in this description. So the energies of today really help us to align with both of those. It's the fluidity of our intuition, the fluidity of the magic, the fluidity of our connection with the cosmic core. But then there's a lot of talk as well about focus and fearlessness of structuring and order and all of those words and the essence of those particular energies around the grouping of letters is yang, it's masculine. So in the description of the energies, we have this balance as well between the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, through this integrative period. So I found that very interesting in that particular score. Now, today we have an 1111 gateway. It is the 11th of June, so it's the 11/6, and the year number 2018 adds up to an 11. So we have an 1111 gateway. So sort of each month we actually have 1111 gateways, which are really, really powerful. And each 1111 gateway that we see, not only is it specifically linked with and related to the diamond energy and the diamond frequencies, which are higher consciousness, it is an opportunity to align our DNA, to align our being through the gateway with the potential that is being gifted in this moment. So with this focus through this gateway being 6, let's have a look at what the 6 represents, because you'll see how that ties in with the Mayan Tzolk'in. And I just think this is quite amazing, really. So number 6 is the first perfect number, and that's because it represents both the sum of and the multiplication of each of its factors. And for those of you who may be mathematically inclined, if you need to know or want to know what the factors are, the factors for 6 are 1, 2, and 3. So if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, you get 6. If you multiply 1 times by 2, you get 2 times by 3, you also get 6. And that's the definition in mathematical terms of a perfect number. So 6 is the first perfect number, as it is known. It represents and it holds the energetic essence and the qualities of harmony, stability, and responsibility. So here again, we have this balancing between the yin and the yang, the masculine, feminine, the harmonization. It is about love, family, and relationships. Head balanced with heart, earth plus air, two elements that are opposing earth. Air is very yin, we could say, and earth is actually very solid, and actually quite yang in its nature, even though we tend to connect with earth as being the mother earth from the perspective of the elements. These are opposing elements brought into balance. 6 is also a number that is associated with symmetry. And if you think about the hexagon, hex is 6. It has 6 sides. It also has 6 internal vertices. So does the diamond. The hexagon is just a 2-dimensional representation of a 3-dimensional octahedron. So we have 6 representing the symmetry, the perfect ultimate symmetry and balance of the diamond, because there are 6 internal vectors that are all of perfect equal length within the diamond. So you have perfect symmetry, perfect harmony, stability, and balance. 6 is also a number of transformation, and we've spoken many, many times about the diamond as a vehicle or a chamber for transformation. It is also about karmic lessons and the resolution of those lessons through relationships. So it's the reharmonization of relationships both within ourselves. So it's our relationship to ourselves as well as our relationship then externally with others and how we manage those relationships, brought back into a state of inner harmony. So occurring within the 1111 window, this amplifies the impact as well as the potentiality of this. So in respect of sowing the seeds and the potentialities of the moment, we're really wanting to co-create a higher order on earth, a higher level of harmony and stability and balance within our bodies at this time. So that should be an aspect of the seeds that we are sowing. So not only for ourselves, but also for the collective. Elaine says there is a Protecting Mother Earth conference taking place on Washington State coast by Indian Tribe Indigenous Environmental Net from June 28th to July the 1st. Oh, that will be absolutely, absolutely amazing. I'm sure, Elaine, it's just a pity that by that time I'm going to be in Salt Lake City. So wouldn't be able to attend, but I'm sure that's going to be quite phenomenal. I mean, there's a lot emerging at the moment about how all of our human activities are creating disharmony in some way, shape, or form, in the name of progress, and how the progress is being affected by a cultural revolution or evolution rather than by natural organic evolution, to our own, or the detriment of the human race at the end of the day. So each one of us has an opportunity to assist in the restoration of harmony, in whichever way we do it. And I know Elaine, and Hillary, for instance, Hillary does a lot of work with the fracking movement, the um, anti-fracking movement. I don't even like the word anti because it implies against and fighting against, but it's holding a position, um, focus on healing waters. Now, okay, so focus on healing waters. There's something very, very interesting that I want to share with you. And when I started coming across this and started delving a little bit deeper, this almost felt sort of counterintuitive, but it's the whole yin yang. It's associated with the whole yin yang imbalance on Earth at the moment, and that we may be physically experiencing in our bodies the same way as Mother Earth is experiencing it in her body. So, yeah, focus on healing waters. It's healing the rivers, healing the lakes, healing the oceans. There's a huge amount that actually needs our healing, and our consciousness at the moment. So what I've actually come across is some very, very interesting information about yin versus yang energy in respect of our own physical bodies, the meridians, and a lot of it is drawn from ancient Chinese medicine, but it's highlighting some of the problems that we may be facing at the moment. So when we look at, we tend to think of yin as a representation of the feminine force, and yang as a representation of the masculine force, which in a very loose sense it is. So yin represents subjectivity. So that is our personalization of everything, sort of our personal perspective on things. So it's very subjective. Yang has the ability to step back and be objective. So the qualities yang energy gives us the opportunity to step back and observe. And in the same vein, yin is intuitive, so it connects us with our emotional world, connects us with the right brain, and yang is a connection with our left brain. So that's quite straightforward, and reasoning ability. So when we are able to step back from that personalization and the emotional content, we are able to observe and then act. So that's actually quite straightforward. We also see this balance in the astrological configurations and astrological alignments because we have water and air representing yin, and we know that sort of water tends to represent the feminine. And on the yang side, fire and earth. So here again, we have this balance. I've spoken before about balancing the age of Aquarius in the northern hemisphere with the age of Leo in the southern hemisphere. So, and interestingly enough, the yang energy, which seems counterintuitive, is linked with the northern hemisphere in general, while yin is actually linked with the southern hemisphere. So you almost get this balancing through this age by impacting or by the cycles moving into more yin energy in the southern hemisphere, from one side of the pond to the other, we are balancing. We indeed are. And then on each side of the equator, we also tend to balance. So we infuse, if you like, because the southern hemisphere is yin, we infuse the age of Leo, that leonine energy, with the airiness and the watery feminineness that is linked with the age of Aquarius. So we infuse that in the southern hemisphere. And then with the age of Aquarius, which is linked with the precession of the equinoxes in the north, we infuse that airiness with the fire and the earth and the ability to create boundaries. So again, we've got this, sort of balancing action as far as the planet is concerned. So yin is also represented by thinking and feeling. Yang is action in the world. Now, when it comes to foods, we have yin foods and yang foods. And the yin foods are fruits, juices, raw foods, alcohols and sugars in general. There are also certain minerals that are specifically yin and others that are yang. Yang is very generally the root vegetables because they come from the earth, rice, proteins, eggs, and dairy. So they are the yang foods that will support us. Now, some of the influences on our physical bodies come, and some of the major influences at the moment actually come from the yin side of the spectrum. And this is where it kind of gets a bit interesting, because stress, environmental toxins, and radiation are all yin energies. And we can help to counteract those with mild exercise and deep breathing. However, one of the reports that I actually read and have come across recently is that most of the population, and this is, coming back to this, progress, artificial progress, because of the cultural evolution as opposed to natural organic evolution, what has happened is this yin-yang natural balance that we would normally evolve within has actually been disturbed and distorted by the amount of radiation that we are being subjected to. And what I actually read was that, and came across, was that a lot of the ancient Chinese medicine and understanding of the yin yang needs to be taken a step further, because 95% of individuals on this planet are too yin in nature. And this is posing physical problems. And in fact, if 95%, I want you to just think about the implications of this, because if 95% of the planet is too yin, and then we go about eating diets or bringing food into our diet that is raw, contains a lot of fruit, that perhaps contains a lot of sugars in some way, shape, or form, and all of the other foods that go within the yin basket, we are actually being counterproductive to the efficacy and the healing abilities of our bodies. So, in this world where the return of the feminine energy and the entire focus on the feminine energy is foremost, the irony is that we currently need more yang energy to effect healing. So this is where we need to fully embrace the balance of the masculine through the foods that we eat very often, in order to support our physical bodies in holding that balance. So we actually need good quality proteins. And in fact, the article that I read advocates animal protein. And that would actually go against the grain, I think, for a lot of people. Animal protein and eggs, dairy, to bring those into your diet in order to increase the amount of dry heat or fire in the body, so that we can dry out the excess water from the emotionality and the emotional content. And we've been going through a lot of emotional clearing. So we actually need root vegetables, brown rice and some of the more yang foods in order to support our physical bodies with this healing that we're going through. The irony of all of this as well is that we need just very mild exercise and very deep breathing to support this, because if we go into vigorous exercise, so you get all of these, like one size fits all, what's the word, advocates for health. So aerobic exercise is really, really good for you. And running is good for you aside from the stress it has on the joints. And you've got to get your heart rate up above a certain level. You've got to do this and got to do that and advocate juice fasting. And this is the whole thing, is that if we are too yin, we should never go on a fast. Number one, we should be very, very cautious. We should not do juice fasts because we're going to overload our body with watery yin energy, and it might feel good for a short while, but we are ultimately going to be acting to the detriment of the balance of our bodies. And I like what Hillary's just said. She says, I haven't been able to give up animal protein, just talking about it today. That's exactly it. And yet there is so much judgment in the world because of this one size fits all approach to life without really taking things into balance. Okay, so this is interesting. Elaine says, I saw a movie on Amazon Prime called Pushing Hands about a Chinese Tai Chi master who says in the movie that vegetables, referring to salads, versus meat or proteins that he said were yang energy, need to balance body or it would make one sick, as it did the woman character in the movie. That's exactly it, Elaine. Thank you for adding to that. Is that salads, which are raw foods, are, if you eat salads in totality or you go on a diet and it's only salads, it's going to actually cause disharmony in your body without the root vegetables. And we're talking root vegetables, don't eat them raw. They need to be very well cooked. There's going to be a lot more digestive issues beginning to come about as a consequence of this. And what's really interesting for me is that learning this now, I went back to, this wonderful diet that I did a couple of years ago where I was eating a lot of salad and thinking I was being ever so healthy, blah blah blah. And at the end of 2 weeks, I actually had the first ever gout attack that I have ever had in my life, which is really quite fascinating. And that was from raw, actually eating raw, plus it was raw plus eggs and asparagus, and eggs and asparagus are full of purines. But what had happened was that all of the raw food had also pushed my body, because I've never had another case of gout from eating eggs and asparagus. That it just depends on how I actually incorporate those things into what I eat. So I'm just giving you that because it's something to really think about and begin to observe in your own bodies. Is this yin yang, this push pull, this watery fiery balance that we are in such desperate need of, and that our health is in such desperate need of. And I was quite fascinated because so much of the information felt counterintuitive, and this figure that sort of 95% of people on the planet are too yin in their energy and actually need more cooked vegetables and less raw food in order to balance their energies is just really, really interesting. So I ask you to sit with that. I ask you to perhaps do a little bit of research. Let's just have a look. What's that? The movie that Elaine was talking about, Pushing Hands. If it's on Amazon Prime, you may like to have a look at it. Pushing Hands. And that's exactly it, because we will make ourselves ill. So we need to make sure that we balance the yin yang very appropriately. So thank you for bearing with me with that. It just really felt important to share that with you. And I know there's a lot more to it. I've really only scratched the surface. I do not profess to actually be an expert on this, because it's just that my research has led me into this particular realm of understanding. And it really came about as a consequence of A, a knee injury, B, going for acupuncture and being told that my spleen meridian was out, and the spleen meridian is actually too much yin energy, too much water, and that I needed fire energy in order to balance it. And that set me on sort of a research route to actually understand more of this and why and how this was happening and what I should and shouldn't be doing, what is good and what is not good. So you may want to have a look at that. Elaine says pushing hands is a form of Tai Chi that refers to two people practicing the give and take of energies. Ah, oh, yes, that's what I was going to say to you. Yeah, too much exercise, too much aerobic exercise puts your body into catabolic distress and actually creates, while exercise itself is yang because it's physical, too much exercise pushed to the extreme actually creates a yin environment. You kind of go, wow, that's also counterintuitive. That's just really, really interesting. So it's kind of looking at the entire balance of our lives in a different way. Yes, Robin, that's so interesting because how much are we influenced by the media in respect of what we feel we could or should or need to be doing? Makes me wonder how much of our diet has been dictated with the purpose of creating more yin. Absolutely. Because too much yin energy creates disease. Too much yin energy actually pushes the helplessness, if you like, of the feminine. It's not the powerful feminine, which is what we are able to bring forth when we are completely in balance, because we then have the yang contribution. So there we go. Yin yang balancing. Happy to release judgment around potatoes. Oh, well, actually, no, let me tell you. What it's actually said is that potatoes are, because of the high sugar starch content of potatoes, they tend to be more of a yin food. What is preferable is sweet potatoes, which kind of come in the middle of the spectrum. Yeah, I know. I also thought that. Instead, what is advocated is brown rice, quinoa, and some of the other earthy grains, and that are much more nourishing and nurturing for our bodies. So yeah, no, I also thought that. Oh, good root vegetables. No, it doesn't include potatoes. It's like carrots and cabbage and peas and string beans and things like that. And what is really, really good is to make sure that those are cooked and properly cooked so that it does not strain the digestive system in processing them. So there's a few ideas for you to research, have a look at, feel into, feel what feels right for you. And it doesn't say like don't do. It depends on sort of how out of balance your body is. It doesn't say don't do raw foods, but perhaps allow your body enough opportunity to come back into balance by focusing on more of the yang, and then begin to bring in some more of the yin energy. But I think it's understanding we live in an environment where we are swamped with radiation, both cosmic, natural, and artificial, where our bodies are stressed in so many ways, and we are poisoned by environmental toxins liberally. So all of those things very powerful. Elaine says, also relates to environment, which is colder here. My Tibetan Buddhist monk dislikes raw vegetables. Do you know, again, that's interesting. And I just kind of say as well, because I've, for many years, not overly enjoyed salads. I always preferred eating warm cooked vegetables. That's all I can say. It's kind of like our body knows what it wants. And then we're dictated to by those outside who, we should be fasting and we should be vegan and we should be this and we should be that. So I'm giving that to you to consider and to research and check with your body in respect of what it wants and what it perhaps needs. But most of us are too, so we would do very, very well to introduce more cooked root vegetables and soups into our diet and some animal protein. good quality animal protein if at all possible. And if you like, I'll send you a web page where somewhere I found some of the information so you can read up as well. I'll do that after the process. So there's a whole lot of elements coming together. So this whole balancing of yin yang is vital to the stabilization of our core. It is what we are going through, what we are being gifted with environmentally at the moment through the Mystic Core column. And this was just a lovely depiction that I really enjoyed of the yin yang dragons. It really is here. You've got your fire and your earth, and here you've got your air and your water. Your two dragons in perfect eternal dance with each other. So they may or may not join us in the process today. I'm really not sure because what I got when I was sitting earlier, this has only just come through just a couple of hours ago, so I couldn't even put it in the newsletter, was we're going to work with the harmony light code, number one, because that represents that holding together of the two opposites within the diamond, the reharmonizing around the central core. So first of all, we've got the harmony code. The second thing that presented was the elephant. So we work with, yeah, dragons are emerging a lot this year. But what was really prevalent that popped in was the white elephant, the sacred white elephant. And the elephant energy is really interesting because my first thought was when I saw the elephant when I was sitting connecting earlier, I went, okay, yeah, I get that because the elephant is about family, relationships. It's all of that six energy: love, family, relationships, stability, um, creating harmony within groups. White elephant is also revered in India, is considered royalty, and it connects with royalty as all sacred white animals do. And we can expand that further and say that royalty is those that are spiritual royalty or those that are the embodiments of diamond consciousness or Christ consciousness that is spiritual royalty. So all of the white animals are guardians and guides for that higher consciousness. But one of the things that really struck me about the elephant, oh, that's lovely, thank you, front and back legs form an 11-11. Yeah, and it's really strong. Is that elephants also help us to push through obstacles? So whatever we may have been experiencing on this emotional roller coaster ride, elephant helps us to push through obstacles, as in Ganesha, sort of revered in Hinduism. Then one of the fascinating things that I picked up was that the African savanna elephant, and there's been very, very rare sightings of sacred white elephants in Africa. Every, sort of once in a while they might see a white elephant, and white is not albino. White is a different genetic mutation, which is very, very relevant and pertinent for this evolutionary time that we are in. Um, that the African savanna elephant distributes seeds further, now we're talking seeds, distributes seeds further than any other animal or bird, and that it can distribute seeds from the fruit of a tree up to 65 kilometers from where that fruit was eaten. Now, that's a huge distance, and they said that actually goes further than even the seed-carrying birds. So that's really extensive, and that's really a powerful connection with this energy today because we're talking about our higher, more expansive awareness and potential. So, White Elephant is going to assist us in expanding that awareness. So there's one link. The other thing that elephant does, which is just really beautiful, is that the seeds are distributed or dispersed. The elephant eats the fruit, goes through the digestive system, and then disperses through the dung that is excreted. Is that there is something in the dung of an elephant that protects those seeds from being scavenged or destroyed by certain beetles. So it gives them a greater opportunity to germinate and flourish. Now, how beautiful is that? Because I didn't know that about elephant until this afternoon. So how amazing is that that come up on this day, which is a seed day, in connection with this reharmonization, in connection with this being able to harmonize to and with our higher and more expanded potential, and balancing and sort of moving through our obstacles, and supporting us in all ways. So we're going to work with White Elephant in the process today, to support us in that way, which is just very special, very significant, and very powerful. So, does anybody have any questions or comments, on that score before we go into the process? All quiet. You see how all of these threads, there's so many different things, just really come in, to blend and braid in a most magical way to provide the focus and the energies for this particular moment in time. And as I said in the newsletter, as far as I'm concerned, this particular portal is more significant today, is actually more significant than what is known as the 6-6. This felt more important, and of greater value coming into this core column day to balance and braid the energies in our core. I saw Hillary was actually making a comment there. I love it. Hillary says that's amazing how the shit works for us. And that's absolutely true. And yeah, well, that actually goes back. Doesn't that go back to it's the compost? The shit is the compost for new growth and for new life. So that goes back to what I was saying in the newsletter as well, where it's like, don't discount or negate anything that you feel. Well said, Hillary. I love it. Um, yeah, don't deny any aspect of yourself because it's all part and parcel of the fuel that is needed for the new growth to emerge. So it's allowing ourselves to recognize and acknowledge the entire flow of emotions and allowing it to be. And that's why and how what I was feeling over the last couple of days eventually shifted yesterday. I just let myself sit with it and I went, okay, this is what it is at the moment. And it so thank you for sharing that. I love it. Yeah, shit works. Robin says, my seeds should be well fed. Well said, Robin. Yeah, mine too. They'll be held safe for a long time, I think, and well nourished and nurtured. So that's the other aspect of the elephants, that nourishing and nurturing. Okay, so if you are ready, let's take a journey. So, as always, make sure that you are comfortable, that your feet and arms are uncrossed, and begin by breathing deep, long, slow breath, almost as if you're breathing all the way down to the tips of your toes. So with each breath, go successively deeper, breathing into your abdomen and breathing out. Breathing down into your thigh bones, into the bones where the blood is created for your body. Breathe out. And then breathe all the way down to your feet, feeling the earth beneath you. And breathe out. Once more, deep breath in, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Really deep, a magnetized breath. Breathe out. It's almost like Mother Earth herself is helping you to breathe as she magnetizes from deep within the earth and pulls the oxygen down through you as a conduit between the heaven and the earth. You serve to anchor that chi, the life force through your breath, onto the planet. And breathe. And allow your breathing to find its own natural rhythm. As you allow yourself now to create around you your diamond, two pyramids joined base to base, anchored at the base of your spine, into the soul star above your head and the earth star below your feet. That beautiful faceted diamond. And your breathing expands to breathe in through your diamond itself, drawn in by the magnetizing effect from within the earth. You can feel the pull. And as you take your attention down to deep within the planet, you realize that the iron core of our beloved Gaia, Mother Earth, acts like a powerful, strong magnet. The iron core magnetizing the iron within your body, drawing your blood down to the extremities, and with it the oxygen that you breathe, helping your circulation to improve. Just be aware of this movement within your body at this moment in time, for this is a powerful yang movement. This magnetizing deep to connect you strongly with the earth, this pushing down as you breathe is a powerful yang force that can help to counterbalance the watery, airy yin forces at work. Notice in your body if this feels uncomfortable as you do this. Now you become aware of your body behaving almost as a pump. For above the soul star energy center, there is a column of light that connects you with that Hunab-Ku, with the balanced point, the source, and the seed of all life at the center of the universe, of our known universe. And there is a pulsing down from this point of seeds being carried into your being on the back or in the pouch of a beautiful blue dragon. On a beam of light enters through your soul star energy center and then moves and wriggles down your spine, depositing those seeds within your body, within your spine, your nervous system. Little blue pearls of cosmic potential. And that dragon, that beautiful blue, writhing, watery dragon is drawn down through your Earth star into the Earth, helping to anchor these seeds within your body, connecting the potential within those seeds to the Earth itself. And it's magnetized and drawn down to the center of the Earth, to the fiery core, the molten iron that keeps you magnetized and held, where the fire of the core transmutes and transforms this watery dragon into a steam or plume of fire. And just like the volcanic eruptions that we see happening on the other side of the world in Hawaii at the moment, this fiery dragon shoots up at incredible speed from the core, pushing up, working against the magnetizing pull so that you are held and you become aware of the golden, fiery seed that this dragon brings from the potential within the earth herself, the eggs with which she was born or created, seeking fulfillment. And this fiery red dragon enters through your soul star energy center, lighting it up, moving up through your body, along your spine, depositing these golden fiery seeds into your nervous system. For each deposit within your nervous system sends a new signal, an electromagnetic signal to the cells in your body and to your DNA. For our DNA responds to its environment. So whatever the resonance within these seed packets that is held, the information is transmitted along electromagnetic signals so that your body is able to respond and reconfigure itself in alignment with these seeds that are gifted, these patterns, these potentials contained within these seeds. And the fiery dragon works her way all the way up your spine, up through your soul star energy center, all the way up to galactic core, where she merges with this emanation at the core of the universe to be doused by the watery dragon that again falls and is magnetized in a stream of light. Falling all the way down, writhing her way through Earth star, back down to the center of the Earth, to be doused by the fire at the core. And the steam then pushes the red dragon up from the center, back up again. So you stand held in the center of this incredible cycle between galactic core and Mother Earth. Notice if one movement, whether up or down, feels any more or less potent and powerful than the other. Be aware of where the energies from the seed packets are moving within your body. And whether some have more energy, more power, more potential than others. And allow now the light code, the Harmony Diamond Light Code, to make itself known and present to you as it pulses into and through your diamond, aligning itself around these braiding energies of your spine, and let it anchor and hold these two braids in equal measure with strength and equality. Be aware of what happens with the two streams of energy, with the push and the pull and the pulsing, as you embrace this harmony light code standing in the very center of this powerful balancing force. And like a computer system, the DNA in the cells of your bodies begins to read the seeds, these packets of potential and information that have been deposited within your being, for they represent your cosmic potential, your highest potential, and the earthly manifestation of that potential in conjunction with Mother Earth. And these little balls of light, of power, roll along the strands of your DNA, activating, transmitting their information to open and close certain pathways, to open gateways, to assist with knowledge, and to repair your physical body. You are feeling strong and stable. And in this space, you now see emerging from the great diamond grid into which you are plugged in and connected through the facets, a form of white light that takes on the shape of a magnificent, huge, beautiful, elephant. whether that's an Asian elephant or an African elephant, it matters not. That the elephant greets you with a raising of the trunk as he or she gently puts out its trunk to wind around you, to touch, sense, feel, and as a symbol of royalty, it checks for your worthiness, your ability to embody and embrace the fullness of the Christ consciousness or diamond consciousness and what it offers, all that it can offer. And you reach out your hands and you can touch the skin, the tough hide of this amazing creature standing before you, gazing into its eye. You see within that space you are drawn into the depth of the universe, ancient wisdoms, knowledge passed down through millennia through this physical form of this amazing creature. And another thing that you see is deep, deep compassion and love. The perfect blending of yin and yang expressed through one bodily form, a massive form with the strength to hold immense energy in its physical making. Put out your hand and feel those beautiful ivory tusks. And then this amazing creature invites you to become and to merge with its consciousness. So when you put out your hand, it almost seems to dissolve into the hairs and the bristles and the wrinkled folds of skin upon the hide of this elephant. And your hand sinks. You're aware that just as you do this, it expands beyond recognition, undergoes incredible expansion within your cellular structures, but you are held firmly in harmony through the writhing dragons and the harmony light code. You are now going to add strength to that anchoring and to that alignment. And inch by inch, you allow yourself to step into the body of this beautiful, amazing white elephant that is presented to you. You can feel yourself expanding, becoming so much bigger, stronger, more powerful. You can feel the tusks emerging from each side of your mouth. And you raise up your own trunk, having found this amazing voice, and you bellow. And here we stand in a group of incredible diamond beings and connect with the trunks of each other as a herd or family of sacred white element. And those seeds that have been sown within your body make their way through this new form that you are held within, that you have shape shifted into. They make their way into the digestive tract. Feel the strength in the legs that hold up this incredible body and being. Be aware of the love that this creature carries within its enormous heart as it fuses with yours, breaking it open. Allow the sacred white elephant to infuse a message from its own being into your own heart, even as it infuses its strength into your spine and then into your legs. And then, upon raising its trunk, the elephant now sucks in yet more codes from the cosmic stream being gifted, seeded codes to be received by your body, for your physical being and body now has the strength to be able to embody, embrace the compassion, to be able to hold these expanded codes, the harmonized energies, for you to stand tall and strong upon the planet, yet one with the cosmic flow. And your sacred white elephant, you in this embodiment, turns and begins to walk, almost like an invisible being, through the terrain of the life that is yours, through the people and the family that you interact with, through cultures and the countries and all of your travels. Notice which direction your elephant wishes to take you on a journey into. Does he or she travel north, south, east, or west? And into which country? For as your elephant walks, those seeds that are yours, encoded for you to resonate with your body, are moved through the tract of the elephant, extending the resonance and the pattern to impact on your nervous system so that your nerves have a memory of that seed. Allowing the pathways or the blueprints for those pathways to be laid down within your being. They may be laid down as images or signs or symbols or people, things to do, ideas and inspirations. Just allow the laying down of those internal blueprints through the seeds that you are drawing in, have taken in. And then once your body and your being has registered the imprint, that seed passes through the track of your elephant as it walks steadily, solidly, lovingly through life, through the timelines and the future timelines of your life. And it excretes those seeds, those pearls, in protective piles of warm fertilizer. Notice where some of those piles are being deposited, where your seeds, your role in the collective grand vision of a reharmonization of our planet and of life. Where are your seeds deposited? Be aware that as you move within the body of this amazing sacred white elephant, that the resonance you have with those seeds that are being left for you to find when they have been germinated and begin to grow, that there is a resonance of immediate recognition that has already been established within your body. Where in your body are you feeling it as each seed leaves? Notice, for this will be a signal on your journey through life of when you have interacted now with one of your blossoming seeds. And as your elephant walks, he walks the grids, the new grids of the planet, helping to imprint the vibration, the essence of the new Christ grids, helping to reinforce And even while you are moving within the body of this sacred white animal, your consciousness is able to elevate from this space, almost bilocating, so that you can raise your vision up and you look down upon the planet. You are aware of hosts of sacred white spirit animals weaving this intricate web through their associations with numerous people, weaving a net or a web of diamond consciousness that seemed to make no sense down at ground level, but from this perspective, where you are now viewing, you can see this glorious pattern taking shape. Pearls and seeds of glowing wisdom, of potential, sown at each intersection within this cosmic web. And you feel incredible pride and love for your role in the process. That no matter how things look in your life at the moment, there is a higher value and a higher love that is working through you. And feel the wave of love and passion for yourself that washes over you. As you embrace and love these incredible opportunities, and you hold within the strength of this amazing body a harmony of love and compassion that greets each relationship and encounter with the authentic nature of who you are, pure love, that allows the grief and the sadness to move through your body because you are strong enough to allow it. In the same way that that expression of joy can be felt or experienced unbounded. And once more, allow your elephant body to actually express its being, its love with an incredible bellow up to the sky and down to the earth. As she continues walking with the remains of your seed upon your life's timeline. And as you prepare to step aside from this body, you do so knowing that there is almost an umbilical cord that keeps you attached to this magnificent being. An umbilical cord that holds you connected at all times, that you have only to go into meditation and call upon her or him. Notice how much your physical body feels. Be aware of the clarity within your consciousness and the expanded energy. And allow yourself to come back into the present moment, holding the magic and the essence of this amazing, sacred, white being of royalty, spiritual royalty, close to you. Elephant works in tandem or in harmony with lion. For elephant walks the pathways of the grids, the ley lines of Mother Earth, keeping the energy activated, so that white lion can be born and can be its royal warrior self, its lion-hearted shaman, in a land that is kept alive through the energetic input of elephant. You now have two close allies, white lion and white elephant, to guide you through the next phase of your life journey. And as you take a deep breath in, you are aware of the alignment within your body, of a newfound confidence, of a new clarity, of an inherent strength, of a love for yourself and for your community and all of your relationships. Those threads which move out and connect you within the field glow with brilliance, no longer darkened by negative, anxious thoughts, by anger or fear. And take a deep breath in, as with profound gratitude, held in your heart with the utmost of love, you prepare to return to waking consciousness. Amen. Breathe in. And breathe out to the sigh as you are welcomed back. And welcome back. How are you feeling? And where did your elephant take you? That was interesting for me because, having felt this connection with the USA, when came back, felt white diamond over throat chakra. Oh, beautiful, Elaine. Feeling really grounded. Yes. And I have to say that my elephant immediately was slowly lumbering its way in the US, over in the US, and I fully expected it to be an African elephant with wandering in South Africa, but it wasn't. It was taking all of those seeds to the US, which is very interesting. And I guess synchronistic signs. So Carlene went to America as well. Wow. Robin says, beautiful. Thank you. Feeling happy and ready to plan a road trip. Oh, good. Where are you going, Robin? Christine, I feel deeply, deeply relaxed and send love and blessings to you for a beautiful meditation. Thank you, Christina. So wonderful that you could join us. So you will get the recording as well, that you can actually listen to it again. Want to see the redwoods? Oh, Robin, that's fantastic. You never know. I may get an opportunity. I know. I know. I was just looking at that. When are you going? because there might be something worth considering in when I'm over there. I think that would be fantastic. It's interesting that, Robin, there's obviously a connection here, because I don't know where I was the other day, but I looked up at this amazing, amazing tree, and I said to somebody, "Is that a redwood?" Because it was that reddish color. I think it was in a park, and they said, "Oh, I don't know." So yeah, we'll connect. I think there could be some interesting opportunity there, but my elephant was definitely over in the US. Hillary says, I don't know where I went. Very strong in my horror, felt a burning sensation around C7 at least twice. Oh, that's interesting. Bonnie popped in and out. Increasingly, I felt something in my hand almost from the beginning. I even opened my hand. Oh, that's interesting. Which hand? Were you sort of giving or receiving or whatever it was activating? I think there's something there that could be interesting. Rob, there's something interesting for all of us. Robin says, I saw a feminine hand. Oh, there we go. Synchronicities hand. Just see what was there. Not sure. It was the elephant's trunk, right hand. Not sure giving or receiving. Ah, okay, okay. But there was movement and activation. Only heard the adult elephant could only relate to the baby white elephant that I cocooned with. Oh, lovely. It snuggled around me until I went into a deep sleep like a new seed covered by loving earth's embrace. Elaine, how beautiful is that? After everything that you've been experiencing, I think that is really special, very significant, strong connection to whatever was in my hand. Well, Bunny, that's going to be interesting to see what emerges if you do this process again to see if you get any clarity on what's in your hand. It's almost like it's saying to me or saying to you that whatever it is that you're looking for, you hold it in your hands right now. Now, how's that for a message? It's like you don't have to look for it. That's the message I'm getting. You don't have to look for it. Whatever you are needing, wanting, or thinking you are looking for is in your hands right now. Very interesting. Never hear it all. I love that it is in my hand. Yes. Get that. Get the energy of that one. Yeah, definitely. Very powerful. I feel really lovely. I don't know how to describe it. I could actually, sort of feel myself becoming stronger. And it's interesting that you're talking about road trip and redwoods, Robin, because redwoods are also tall, proud, strong, incredible trees. So the energy we work with, and it's powerful, it's always powerful. Thank you, Bunny. The energy is always powerful. Thank you. And it is because of the group. It's powerful because of all of you. It is what it is because of all of you. Did any of the rest of you have some interesting adventures, or were you aware of anything that was resonating in your body within those seeds? Oh, Bunny, the redwoods came up in another group call, and that is interesting. Wow. When we consider that redwoods or trees in the African traditions are known as growing people. So the implication, because they reach high up into the heavens, isn't that fascinating? I love it. I don't know about you guys, but I've noticed a lot of almost immediate synchronicities, especially in the last week. Just, I'll be thinking about something and it'll pop up as a video, or I'll be asking a question, and there it is that's guiding me, or something is that's guiding me in that direction. And this is going to become like more and more, I think, profoundly clear. That's going to help us to move out of the anxiety that we have perhaps been experiencing, the stress, that emotional overload and overwhelm, so that we can see the pattern that is being woven, the meaning and the threads of our lives and the purpose through more and more uh, finer synchronicities. So just be aware, absolutely in the flow, yes. But in the flow with a harmonized balance, with a yang, yes. Leyland says most of the meditation, my heart was jitterbugging until soft carbon within turned into a hard diamond that then sent out blinding white light. Oh, Elaine, that is beautiful. Really, really powerful. So stunning compassion and compassionate connections and heart expansion through this, because that's also what Elephant brings us. It's a family connection with each and every one that's on the call and in this group and in this community. So I raise my trunk to you, all of you, in greeting and with love and with thanks and gratitude, all of it. I see Pam's writing a comment here. Pamela, I feel very soft inside. Oh, Hilary, that's wonderful. That's absolutely lovely. You're looking lovely actually from that video that we saw earlier. So that's a wonderful compliment. So it's soft and strong. And therein is the wonderful yin yang balance, that gentle strength. So I think there's a powerful message for you. The elephant's kind eyes gaze on us all. Yeah, they do. And I tell you what, Elaine, when you get to look in an elephant's eye close up, it is almost as if you see the universe in that eye. It's just, that was my experience of it, with my experience of elephant. I don't know what Robin would be able to add there, but it was just, it draws you deeply within because there is incredible lifelong wisdom held um, there. Like the whales, yes, yes, like the whales, yes, Elaine, very, very well said. Hilary, I feel that I've been able to help friends recently who are going through stuff. Yes, yes. And that's through that lightness that you are carrying. And that's almost the paradox is that in order to be able to hold more light, more yin energy, so here again, we need to support ourselves with more yang. And that through the foods we can assist ourselves nutritionally through the food that we eat to enable our bodies to accommodate more yin. And it's not necessarily through eating salads. So yeah, allow yourself to be the light. So Robin says yes, can still connect energetically with the elephant that we met. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Very, very powerfully. So we've got my partner is Leo, quite young. So he helped me that way. That's good. I give my elephant holographic peanuts. It's wonderful. I love my salads, but so need protein and warm veggies. And yeah, I love that. Um, yeah, just take a look at how the foods are balanced. And I would say actually be cautious and perhaps reweigh how much of each and cut back on fruit. The advocation was no fruit because if fruit, most of the fruit is airy and it's also southern hemisphere, which is more yin. So fruit is not always that good for us, which is also interesting. And shakes and all those powders, not good. Not the right kind of protein either. I'll send you guys the link to that page. You can have a look. Elaine says, yes, body gets cold if I don't have a bit of hot food. Me, yes. Strawberries are yang. I thought maybe apples too. Apples, I think, are like they're not quite as yin as the other foods, but they're not fully yang. They're kind of in the middle. But I'll send you the list or the resource that I was using for that note. So, if you guys are all wonderful, I wish you a most beautiful rest of the day. And night. I will get the recording out, and I look forward to being with you on the 21st. So may your inner sacred site continue to be reorganized along with those new resonances between now and integrate between now and the 21st. And I look forward to being with you then. And Robin, I'll connect with you. I'll email and let's let's pursue. Bonnie, there might be something for you there too. That maybe that's something we need to do. Um, He says I may be at Blackpool on the 21st. Hope I can join live. That'll be fantastic. Yes. Okay. Love you all. Have a wonderful day and let me know how it goes. As always, much love.